Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's staying dry today. Welcome, everybody, to the special City Council meeting, City of Ceres, California. This meeting will be held in accordance with Executive Order N2920, issued by the California Governor Gavin Newsom on March 17, 2020, the Ralph M. Brown Act, California Government Code Section 54950 ET sequence, and the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. And this meeting will not be physically open to the public. However, all members of the public may participate and comment via the application Zoom. Zoom meeting information and all the call information was posted on the agenda on the city's website. If you are unable to attend the meeting, remote public comment is also available by emailing the public email to the city clerk at cityclerk@ci.ceres.ca.us. Welcome, everybody, to the special City Council meeting here at Ceres, California. Today is Tuesday, February 2nd. Let's call to order. And City Clerk?
Councilmember Rhino? Here. Councilmember Silvera?
Here.
Vice Mayor Condit?
Here.
And Mayor Lopez?
Here. Let's everybody stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. While the City Council welcomes and encourages participation in the City Council meetings, adopted rules allow no more than 5 minutes. Resolution number 2007-106. Members of the public interested in addressing the City Council during the special meeting may address the items which have been described in the notice of the special meeting in accordance with the Government's Code, Section 54954.3a. Public comments will now be accepted through Zoom. For those participating through the web, please raise your hand and request to speak, the hand icon bottom of your screen. If you are participating by telephone, please press *9 on your phone. The City Clerk will call your name in the order and the requests are received. When it is time for you to speak, the City Clerk will unmute your microphone. City Clerk, please provide the names of each person that has requested to speak.
At this moment, there are no hands raised, Mayor.
Okay. Do we have any emails?
No, Mayor.
Okay. No phone calls? Nothing?
No, Mayor.
Okay, cool. So the public comment period is now closed, and we're on to the city. Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Okay, well, looks like we do have a hand raised. Okay. Let's go
Mr.
ahead.
Yakely, I see your hands up. I will unmute your mic. Your mic is unmuted.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. I got on the tail end of this, and I guess we're moving forward now to.
Mr. Yakely, hold on 1 second while we put your audio on. Okay, now we
Go ahead and try it again, Mr. Yakely.
Go ahead.
I thought you were getting to the introduction of the candidates, and I must not have heard it right. So
I don't think we can hear him.
Go ahead and try it again, Mr. Yakely.
He's on mute. I guess maybe it was an accident.
how about now?
Oh, okay, let's move along.
Hmm.
Oh, he's back.
Could you hear me now?
Mr. Yakely, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh.
I can see the
Hear him.
microphone.
Go ahead, Mr. Yakely.
Okay.
Can anybody hear me?
We can now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, are we getting close to the candidates here? I missed part of this. I couldn't hear.
We just started. We're basically asking folks who would like to comment.
On the candidates or what?
On public comment beforehand.
Oh, different issues. Okay. All right, sorry.
Anybody else?
Mr. Warren, I will unmute your mic. Your mic is unmuted.
Good evening, council members.
Mr. Warren, you've muted your mic. Can you unmute your mic, please?
I did. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Hello? Some of you can hear us and some of you can't, obviously. The reason I raised my hand was because I could hear Mr. Yeagley and you could not.
Yeah.
So obviously some audio problems, and hopefully they will work themselves out. But my question would be, as citizens listening in or taking part, will we be able to ask the candidates questions?
That would be no.
What?
So only the council members can ask the candidates questions. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more hands?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Let's move on to our business for today. The City Council District 1 interviews and possible appointments, resolution number 2021-16, appointing a member to fill the District 1 Council vacancy with a term end date of December 2022. Go ahead, Mr. Westbrook, if you could please give us an overview.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. So we all know Supervisor Chance Consett was sworn in on January 5th to the Board of Supervisors, created a vacancy of his city council seat for District 1. At your January 11th, 2021 city council meeting, the council decided to move forward with the application process for a possible appointment. Those applications period was open on January 12th and it closed on January 26th. We did receive 4 applications. All those applicants are in the audience tonight. Those applications were for Perminder Bahia, Lori Smith, Mark White, and Connie Vasquez. So this evening, staff has provided some questions for the council to consider. In the process that we anticipate that this will go is we've allotted about 15 minutes for each of the candidates to speak. There is an introductory statement that they can make to the city council, followed by 4 questions that we anticipate each council member will ask a question. If the person uses all of their 15 minutes time, that's fine, but if they're done speaking in 5 or 10 minutes, then that is okay as well. Also, we've prepared a resolution. If the council comes to concurrence tonight on the appointment after the interviews and deliberations, then we can go ahead and move forward with that resolution to appoint to District 1. The candidates have been provided the questions, so they're prepared to answer those from the council. Also, we'll be selecting in a random order. So I have this little green container that has each of the names. When I'm done here, if I can answer any questions, I'll come up and I'll have the mayor select the names, and we'll just go in the order of the names selected. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions, and if there are none, then we can move forward with the interview process.
Does the council have any questions?
Yes, I'd like to know why we're not allowing the public not to have public comment.
They can comment, just not ask questions. Right.
Thank you, Tom.
And I know, city manager, you mentioned, the questions here. Follow-ups are appropriate. You're not just married to these 4 questions, but they should be on, qualifications and visions for the city, and not, are you for or against cannabis? Should we move the garbage cans in front or behind the fence? That type of
Okay.
But we will open public comment.
Yes.
Okay.
Tom, I'm ready for you. Come on down. Okay. Making me stretch here, Tom. First person. Connie Vasquez, number 1. Number 2, Lori A. Smith. Number 3, Mark C. White. And number 4, Armindir S. Bahia. Okay, so we're going to ask the questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I can please have Connie Vasquez step up to the podium, please. Thank you for joining us today. And you have, you said 15 minutes for opening statement, correct? Or is that correct?
15 minutes total, but
Okay,
with
total,
the,
okay.
yeah, opening statement and the questions.
If you have an opening statement, you may do so now.
Okay.
And Connie, if you wish, you can take off your mask if you'd like.
Appreciate that. Sure that microphone's right on.
First off, I'd like to thank the council members, Ms. Rhino, Mr. Silvera, Mr. Condit, Mayor Javier Lopez, for your work. You know, I appreciate what you guys do for the city. My name is Connie Vasquez, and I have lived in Ceres for more than 30 years. I've raised 4 children in Ceres. They've attended Ceres schools. I started my business. I have a daycare and started my business in 2007 and flourishing pretty good. I appreciate the community and what they do for my daycare. I've been voted 4 times for best daycare, so that's kind of a cool thing for me, maybe not for anybody else, but for me it is. I'm a hard worker and I enjoy being involved with the community. I've participated in events such as the Turkey Trot, Love Series. I coached baseball at Costa Fields, and I dress up every year as a cat in the hat to walk my children to the library and get involved with other children that are at the library during Dr. Seuss Week. So it's one of the things I like to do. I like to make the public happy. And I believe in treating others with respect, with dignity. Even the homeless deserve respect and dignity. And I think that is a big issue that I hope I'll be able to help with and help address. It's in my nature to help others, and it's what I've always done. That's a little bit about me.
Thank you.
Ms. Vasquez, what do you feel are your most important qualifications for appointment to the City Council?
Well, I have no background in any kind of, I've never had any background in anything like this, but I'm very active in my community. I care about the community, and I'm always willing to help. Even my daycare kids and I, we go for walks and we have those claws and we go around and we clean up our neighborhood. We do things like that, and I teach the kids to care about where they come from. So I think even though I don't have any political background, I do care. I want to help. I want to participate. I'm there. If somebody needs help, I'm there. I see a lot of homeless. I see a lot of trash. And I think it's really important that we make our city look beautiful, that we teach our kids to keep our city beautiful. And how are we going to do that if we don't get involved? It's like I tell everybody, if you don't vote, you have no business making comments about the way things are run because you didn't participate. You have to participate and get involved.
Thank you.
What do you hope to accomplish while a part of the city council?
Well, as I've mentioned a few times, the homelessness, it's really bad. It's gotten worse. I don't feel comfortable letting my daughter walk to the grocery store by herself anymore. And she's 39, but she's developmentally disabled. She used to do it all the time. I don't feel good about that. I'd like to clean up streets because they're stealing kids' iPhones and their bikes and things like that. I would like to work on or help work on the drugs and the homelessness in the community. I'd also like to see more things for children to do, cleaner parks, maybe some kind of recreation like a skating rink or something that the youth can get involved in, and maybe bring others to our community as well.
Thank you.
Okay, what problems, issues, or concerns do you see facing the city, and how would you propose they be addressed?
Well, I think for me, one of the biggest things right now is how dirty the city is. There's trash everywhere. I'd like to get that cleaned up. I think getting the community somehow involved, maybe like a love series, but not just once a year, but maybe a couple times a year, maybe 3 times a year, you know, maybe having some kind of organization who's willing to do that and willing to volunteer for that, and help get Sirius cleaned up. Wouldn't it be great to have new businesses come in and really be proud of moving in to this city? I'd like to see that.
And Ms. Vasquez, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Just our cities should show a positive and appealing appearance, enhancing business growth in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Smith.
Hands free.
All right.
Right. Good evening.
You can go ahead and give us your opening statement, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor Lopez, members of the City Council. My name's Lori Smith, and I've been a resident of Ceres for more than 34 years. Both of my parents were from Longview, Washington. My father was in the United States Air Force for 27 years, so I spent my childhood moving around the United States. I was born in Bermuda, then we moved to Maine, then California, then the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and then we moved to Louisiana, where I went to high school. After I graduated from high school, we moved to Castle Air Force Base in Atwater. I attended Merced Community College, and then I moved to Long Beach, where I graduated from Long Beach State with a bachelor's degree in political science. I have 2 sons. My oldest son is Ryan. He's 35. He's a millwright with PCB Industrial. My youngest son is Tyler. He's 31, and he's a technical recruiter with Microsoft. Ryan and my wonderful daughter-in-law, Ashley, who is also from Ceres, live in Oroville, and they're parents to my 3 sparkling grandchildren. Nikita is 9. That gets me emotional. Nikita is 9, Ember is 3, and my grandson, Rai Rai, turns 2 today. Happy birthday, Rai Rai. My son, Tyler, lives in San Jose with his fiance and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, Steph, and their wedding is in October. As you saw in my resume, I've worked for the city of Modesto for a little over 25 years. I was hired as the first executive assistant to the mayor and council in 1995 and worked my way up as an analyst, administrative services officer, business manager, and now I'm the director of Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhood. Prior to that, I worked for new home and commercial developers for about 8 years. I've been on the Ceres Planning Commission and Ceres Downtown Revitalization Area Board for more than 14 years, and I currently serve as the chair. In addition, I also served on the Concerts in the Park Committee and was the Planning Commission representative on the Temporary Sign Committee. In my spare time, I like to spend time with my grandchildren. I play golf, albeit poorly, and I consider photography a hobby.
Thank you.
Ms. Smith, what do you feel are your most important qualifications for appointment to the City Council?
Thank you, Councilmember Rhino. Well, I have over 25 years of experience in municipal government, focused on budgeting, administration, economic development, project management, parks planning and development, parks operation, and neighborhood association development, as well as recreation. In addition, I have 14 years experience serving as a Ceres Planning Commissioner. I'm currently the chair, and we make decisions, as you know, on land use and community development. I have a comprehensive understanding of the operations of municipal government, which will assist me in quickly learning the details of Ceres operations. In addition, I'm a good listener. I have conflict resolution skills, and I believe in the value of public service.
Thank you.
What do you hope to accomplish while part of the City Council?
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. 2 years is not a lot of time, but I hope I can contribute to leading the city in a direction that results in sustainable economic growth, that enhances our quality of life and supports our public safety departments. I think the strategic plan is an important tool in these goals, and the council might consider creating performance measures that connect our goals and initiatives with our budget, allowing us to measure how well we're doing each year and either adjust the goals or the budget if necessary.
Thank you.
Okay, what problems, issues, or concerns do you see facing the city, and how would you propose they be addressed?
Thank you, Councilmember Silvera. I believe that economic development should be a priority. Developing and expanding our economy and growing the city's general fund is critical in providing important city services like police, fire, and quality of life activities that rely primarily on the general fund. I believe we should show our commitment to this effort by investing in a full-time economic development manager responsible for working with existing businesses to expand and grow, or struggling businesses that need support, as well as recruiting new businesses looking for a location. Ceres has 3 exits on Highway 99 and the future ACE train platform. We have prime land available along Highway 99 and in the downtown near the ACE train. We have many, many opportunities that will benefit from a full-time, experienced economic development professional ready to help us respond to the changes in the way people buy, sell, and sell goods and services in a post-COVID environment.
Commissioner Smith, do you have anything to add?
Well, thank you, Commissioner Condit. I'm sorry, Councilmember Condit. Well, I've lived in Ceres for 34 years, as you know, and I've raised my 2 sons here as a single mother. I consider it my hometown. I care about the future, and I believe we have all the ingredients to continue our journey in creating a vibrant and healthy community that is a great place to work, live, and play. With only 2 years left in the term of this position, and my more than 25 years of municipal experience will allow me to hit the ground running. I will consider it an honor to work for the citizens of Ceres and use my experience and knowledge to help Ceres realize its full potential. And before I close, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to participate, and I'd also like to thank the other applicants as well. It's great to see so many people interested in serving the citizens of Ceres and District 1. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. White. Thank you. If we can start with your opening statement, please.
Mayor Lopez, council members, thank you for having me here tonight. Everybody else in attendance, hello and good evening. My name is Mark White. It's said to talk about myself. As most people know, that's probably one of the hardest things to do, especially in an interview, is to talk about yourself. Everybody always gets flustered, and I'm one of those people. So I've only lived here in Ceres for a little over 4 years, about almost 4.5 years. Been in Stanislaus County since the spring of 2003. I came here originally from Mariposa. So I'm not sure how many people are familiar with that. It's a small little town just southeast of here. Sits right below the main entrance to Yosemite National Park. Population of about 9,000 people. I lived there till I was 21 years old, where I ventured off out into the world, trying to find my own way. Sorry, I'm still a little flustered. I have. So back to a little bit about myself. Like I said, I ventured out from Mariposa, small town boy, out into the big world. Didn't make it very far. Modesto was the furthest I got. From there, I've lived all over Stanislaus County over the past 20 years or so. During that time, I've had numerous jobs. I don't want to say numerous jobs as in I bounced from job to job, but I've done different things. I'm kind of the jack of all trades, but a master of none. I've done everything from general carpentry to managing local businesses here in Stanislaus County. Public safety, though, has kind of been my calling. It's where my heart's at. Public safety and public service. It's kind of been my passion. So I've been an EMT, been an EMS instructor, volunteer firefighter up in Oregon, where I spent a brief time. Now I work at Memorial Medical Center. I work in the radiology department. I'm an imaging scheduler, as well as a part-time invasive procedures tech in the cardiology treadmill lab. Just love helping people. So that's through all of my travels in the last 21 years since I left Mariposa, nothing has felt like home until I got here to Ceres. Like I said, I've been to Riverbank and Patterson and Turlock, but everything here in Ceres has felt like home. The community I live in, that's kind of why I'm here, is because I want to give back to the community. And I figure this is a good place to start to try and give back to the people who have given so much to me over the past 4.5 years. My kids go to school here. They've been here since kindergarten. My wife works for the Ceres School District with the developmentally disabled preschoolers. I did a short time before I started at Memorial Medical Center as a health clerk with the school district as a substitute. So that's why I'm here. That's about me. Sorry about the shaky voice and the not used to this.
You're doing fine.
Well.
Mr. White, what do you feel are your most important qualifications for appointment to the City Council?
I feel that my most important qualifications, for me, it's very brief and simple. Once I get into a position, I have very strong leadership qualities. That's why I've been in management positions and supervisory positions at my past employers. I'm a team player. You know, I believe in working together. You know, we have to find common ground no matter what you're doing, whether it's city business or it's personal business. It's family, everything has to work together. And I have a very strong sense of loyalty to my community.
Thank you.
What do you hope to accomplish while part of the City Council?
I hope to be part of building Ceres up, putting Ceres back on the map in a positive light, you know, making it a positive hotspot for the Central Valley. You know, downtown is already being revamped and being rebuilt, and I'd like to be a part of that.
Thank you.
What problems, issues, or concerns do you see facing the city, and how would you propose they be addressed?
So number one, I see the homelessness and the public camping as a growing concern and problem here in Ceres and Stanislaus County in general. I've seen the trickle-down effect coming in from the outskirts of the city. You know, some of these individuals, they just need compassion and time. You know, they've gotten a rough spot. They're looking for the community to support and help them. And I think as a community, we can do that for those people through churches or public outreaches, homeless shelters and such. I know there are programs out there. We just have to direct these people to them. That being said, not everybody that is homeless or, you know, parked on the side of the road sleeping out of their car they're not looking for help. Some of these people enjoy that lifestyle. A large percentage of those individuals are not local to the area. Some of them, they're not even local to the state or the region at all. Those are the ones I believe pose the biggest concern and the biggest problems for our community. And we utilize a lot of resources, funding the cleanups and maintenance and repairs on public property, private property that some of these individuals cause. You know, you have the law enforcement making arrests and incarcerating them, which costs the public money and taxes for these individuals to be released, come right back out and be right back into the circle again, and it's a vicious circle. So I have a possible solution for that to make the homeless problem in our community. It could be to implement a 3-strike tier system. Your first strike is a documented incident with law enforcement where, it could be something as just a documented, not necessarily a citation, but just so that they have this person's information and they're giving them a warning to, hey, what can we do to help you? And it gives our people, the churches and those outreach programs, the opportunity to contact them. A second strike would mean jail time, maybe a 48 hours, whatever the law would say on that subject. But it would also give them a possibility of a misdemeanor on their record. Some of these people have clean records, and that misdemeanor, they don't want that. That's a possible. The third strike would be a definite misdemeanor, definite jail time, with even the possibility of a relocation for these people that are not from our community or our region or our state. There are cities across the country that have implemented these relocation programs where they take the homeless people, they run their backgrounds, they find out where they're from, find out their story, and they help them to get back home. And sometimes that's what it takes. I think that could be that's an extreme solution, I do understand, but it is something that could be implemented, I think. And I've seen it have success in, some of the other cities. I know Las Vegas was one that did try that for a while. I don't know about their success, but these are just a few. Another issue that I've seen in this area, and talking to my neighbors, as some of the other candidates have said, is the trash in the city. It's getting bad, especially now with the masks and the gloves. People just discard them. And part of that is the homeless, but part of that is just the community not caring anymore. I think that a solution to that could be a city beautification project with, maybe a community cleanup. And it doesn't have to be citizens out cleaning. It can be people see things, and it's a monkey see, monkey do kind of society. If they see law enforcement stop because there's trash on the street and watch an officer pick it up, or a firefighter, or any city worker, or just a general public at all, they're more inclined to go back and pick that trash up themselves also, or not throw it on the ground to begin with. So I think that's somewhere to start too with the trash in the city. Another issue that I've noticed is public safety in general. In the area that I live, my neighbors have expressed to me that they don't like going for walks around the park after dark anymore because of what they say are gangs. Now, obviously, it's a stereotypical look for gang members, but they feel threatened, and there's drug usage, and they're seeing it. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be an increased law enforcement to solve that problem. It could be a neighborhood watch program that the city is helping to get people involved in. There's the neighborhood watches, or say something, you see something, say something program that gets the community involved in watching out for your neighbors, because your neighbors need to know that if they call somebody for help, somebody's going to come, whether it's law enforcement or another neighbor. And I think the city could help implement that. That's kind of it for those. I wrote down a lot. But, yeah.
Well, here you go, Mr. White. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah. I would just like to add that whether or not I am your choice, I would still like to be a proactive member and as a member of the community, be proactive in any kind of capacity that I can to help push the city into a positive growth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. White. Mr. Bahia. Just to make sure I'm pronouncing that correct, right? All right, just want to make sure. Thank you. Go ahead and begin with your opening statement, please.
Sure. My name is Parminder Bahia. I've been a resident of Ceres for about 28 years. I've played in these parks. I went to these high school. My kids go here now. I'm a business owner here for 2 years. I was a manager for our businesses and properties over on Crow's Landing Road. And I love this city, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Mr. Bahia, what do you feel are your most important qualifications for appointment to the City Council?
I've been a manager for over about 25 years. managing our properties here in Ceres as well as Crow's Landing. Our businesses. I opened a business here in Ceres about 2 years ago. First year was shaky, but because of the perks of small business that Ceres offers, it's expanding and growing, and the revenues have increased by 400%.
Thank you.
What do you hope to accomplish while part of the city council?
I wish to further the strategic plan and help this council govern with consensus and ethical behavior and help the community grow, bring back during this COVID time, small business. Ceres is a small town. A lot of the businesses have closed. I know many owners here in Ceres. I've been here a while. I'm part of the Sikh community, a lot of Indian owners here. I know most of them. I'd like to, let people know that Ceres, as a small city, has its perks: lower taxes, distribution, ease of distribution. There's a lot of other perks here. So just to promote the business and economic growth here.
Thank you.
Okay, what problems, issues, or concerns do you see facing the city, and how would you propose they be addressed?
I think one of the main ones everybody's been saying, the homeless one, right? In District 1, I do see a lot of homeless walking from Mitchell over into River Road and into that area, taking stuff from people's lawns. And it is a big issue, but it's a very complex issue. I've dealt with the homeless over there, Crow's Landing Road, which is a big homeless community there. Behind our properties, it's about 30 yards of alley, and they had just took the whole alley over. So I communicated with the city managers in Modesto, along with code enforcement. They got a sheriff's civil stay order there, and they got cleanup crews and cleaned up the whole alley. It's possible, but it's complex. It's more than just it's behavior. Mental issues, the proclivities. It's a very complex issue. And we do have resources. The county is acquiring facilities and they're creating low income housing where they can be relocated. And Ceres does have the mandates where they can't camp for more than 8 hours. And they get 3 warnings, and then it's a misdemeanor, I believe, and they can be removed. So Ceres is beautiful. It's clean. I grew up here. My kids are here. My daughter's ASB president at Ceres High. My nieces were valedictorians there. It's a beautiful city, and I'd just like to help the school district and law enforcement keep it that way.
Thank you.
Is there anything you would like to add?
The only thing I would like to add is if I do I'm nominated or I get the seat, I would like to create a fund with my salary to give it back to the children that graduate the high schools in a scholarship, 5 students.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up Zoom or emails or phone calls for public comment, but we cannot be asking questions for the candidates.
First hand raised, Mayor, is Felicia Jimenez. I will unmute your mic. Mic is unmuted.
Hi, good evening. My name is Felicia Jimenez, and I've lived in Ceres for almost my entire life. District 1 for 6 years. I appreciate all of the time that you guys have put into trying to select the best candidate to fill the open seat. After watching all of the interviews, I feel everyone has something to bring to the table. However, I believe Connie Vasquez has a genuine concern for the city issues, and her vision for city improvements is comparable to not just citizens in District 1, but Ceres as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Was that the only person who had their hand up?
I see no, one hand was just raised. John Warren.
Good evening, council members. I'm somewhat disappointed that the residents of District 1 cannot participate in the selection of their representative. If we had a general election, each of us in the district would be able to speak to the candidates and ask them questions on different matters that would come before them while sitting on the council. But that is not being allowed, and I respect that. So with that said, thank you very much.
Next person with their hand raised is Gene Yakely. Mr. Yakely, I'll unmute your mic.
Yes, I just want to address those 4 individuals that came forward and submitted their papers for District 1. I'm not in District 1, I'm in 4, Linda Reynolds area. But when they elect somebody, it affects all the other districts. You know, people might think it doesn't, but it does in the long run. Each one of you up there today have a decision to make tonight, or I assume tonight anyway, and that's going to affect every other district that each one of you take care of. And I just hope that you might think about the right decision for the candidates. They're all very nice. Some I would pick myself if I was in that position, but it's very difficult. And again, I want to thank those individuals for coming forward. I wish we would have seen these people more often in the last regime of the city council, because we need more people to attend, but we needed them to support us in the past too. And I hope they can see that now as they're trying to run for a position. But thank everyone for what they've done. Thank you.
Next person is Lee Brandt. Mr. Brandt, I'll unmute your mic. I will try once more, Mr. Brandt.
How about now? Okay.
Your mic is unmuted.
Good evening, council. I just would like to echo, what everybody else said about the 4 people who came up there. I don't know if I can give my opinion. My opinion would be, and I'm sorry I did not catch the names because of the COVID and the sound system and stuff like that. But the lady that stood up, number 2, I think she was very, very experienced. And I just leave it up to you guys. You 4, there's a reason that you're up there. And, my hat's off to the 4 people who put in for it. And good luck.
Next person, I just see a phone number. I will try to unmute their mic, but I don't see that they have a mic on. If your mic's unmuted, can you please state your name for the record once we unmute your mic? Your mic is unmuted. 713 area code.
Yes. Good evening, council, and the applicants and the listeners. My name is Daia Salahuddin. I am new to Ceres. My husband and I, we moved here in 2019. And I'm sorry, I'm driving now, so I hope I can be heard. Can I be heard okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, great. And, you know, I was a part of a meeting last night, a public hearing, and this is my first council meeting that I have attended to hear, and I am really hearing some beautiful things. I'm hearing things about compassion, about caring, about the residents of Ceres, you know, and I'm feeling like this is an area where we would have a voice. I mean, that's what we need, is someone that's going to be there to listen to the residents and to really care about the residents, whether we've been here for 34 years or more, or if we just got here. But what I want to say is that this meeting that I was a part of last night, I didn't get that care. I didn't get that concern. In fact, the person was very rude. They let the applicant speak over and over, but did not let the residents. And we did not feel good about that at all. And I don't think that that person should be considered to be on the council, Mrs. Lori Smith. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
There are no other hands raised, Mayor.
Okay. Well, here we are.
One hand was just raised. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Renee Ledbetter.
Okay, go ahead.
Ledbetter, I'll unmute your mic. Looks like I'm going to have to move you over as a panelist because it says you're using an older version of Zoom that's not compatible. So let me move you over to panelist so you can be allowed to speak. Ms. Ledbetter, I just sent a request to unmute your mic.
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So my name is Renee Ledbetter. I'm a resident of Ceres. I've been a resident for close to about 24, 25 years. I just wanted to mention that I appreciate all of the candidates for applying for this position. As we all know, being a part of the council or any type of activity that you take place in like this takes a lot of commitment. And so kudos to all four candidates who stepped up and are willing to make this commitment for our community. So I did want to mention that I do support Lori Smith. Lori has been a member of the Planning Commission for quite some time now. She is a longtime city employee and understands the process and the way things work in municipal government. I've worked with Lori both through Modesto as well as in different groups, committees for the city of Ceres as well. And so I just would like to encourage that you look at the experience that she brings to the table in terms of economic development and workforce development. She's very familiar with helping to grow cities in terms of attracting businesses and helping businesses stay. And that is a huge priority, or it should be, for this council, because when we look to grow the general fund and we look to find money to support public safety and, you know, police, fire, and parks and infrastructure, we need to find a way to grow that general fund. And Lori brings that expertise, and she could be a very valuable asset to our community. So that's all I wanted to say. I know you guys have a really tough decision to make, and I encourage you all to vote your heart, vote your mind, vote your conscience, and Godspeed. You guys have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. That's it? Okay. Next question is, would somebody like to nominate some?
Well, I think all are going to say who we would like, and then I think that's kind of what we talked about before. And then if we have a majority, then we could go ahead and make a resolution, a motion to pass a resolution. But I think rather than just do a motion, that isn't really allowing all to say who we might want to appoint.
Yeah, a comment period like we normally have on anything on a just agenda. And
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that.
Well, I'm happy to start.
Absolutely.
Okay. First, I'd also like to thank all four applicants for stepping forward, because it is, it does take a lot of your personal time, but I also think it takes special people that are willing to commit that time to the city and to the community that we all live in. I do appreciate that. And I think that each applicant had certain things that I think would benefit the city. But after listening to all of the comments, I would say that I would support appointing Ms. Smith, because she can hit the ground running. And some may think, well, she's been in government. We don't want someone who's been in government. There are people who think that way, but I also know that we need that on our council. We need someone who is, excuse me, who's familiar with municipal government. We need someone who is familiar with the budget process, economic development, all of that. So I would support the appointment of Lori Smith.
Thank you, Ms. Rhino. I will repeat what Ms. Rhino said. It is very important that you guys most definitely put your all into this. I do appreciate everyone being here. I'm probably one of the only persons on this dais that has zero political experience. And at the end of the day, I tell everybody, lead by example. So, yes, I understand the perspective of bringing years of experience, but given the opportunity, anyone at any position can do good for the city. At the end of the day, that is what matters. That you do everything that it takes, put all your time and effort into this job. As you see this dais growing, you see that we are also experiencing a little bit of growth ourselves, that at the end of the day, this council wants what's best for the city. I think that it's important to remember that. So I myself want to nominate Ms. Vasquez.
okay, looks like it's my turn. Thank you again, all four of you, for throwing your name in the hat and being willing to help the citizens of Ceres. And whoever, if you're not selected tonight, we appreciate what you've done, gone out on a limb to represent citizens of Ceres. And there's other ways to get involved and stay involved. So hopefully those of you that aren't selected are interested in that too. There's always different committees and things that we're looking for representatives on. So thank you very much. I, as Councilman Rhino stated, support Lori Smith. Lori's experience in the city of Modesto business as a director of Parks and Rec and Neighborhood, as a previous business manager, her long-time career in business and economic development before she started in civic work is outstanding. Currently is a planning commissioner for 14 years. Her commitment to the city of Ceres is exactly what we need and what we want. Lori's intelligent, articulate, and well-spoken. She makes well thought-out decisions. She communicates with grace and courtesy to all that she comes into contact with. I spent almost a year on the planning commission with Lori and learned so much from her as our chairperson. She'd be a great asset to the citizens of Ceres. That's all I have to say, excuse me.
Thank you.
I would like to congratulate all four of you for taking the plunge and applying. It is a big commitment, as has been stated before, and it's a tough decision. You're all great applicants. But I would recommend Mr. White would be my recommendation.
Okay, so somebody's gonna have to make a motion. I'd be willing to start to do that. I'll move to approve resolution number 2021-16, appointing Lori Smith to fill the District 1 council vacancy.
Second.
Can we have a roll call?
Councilmember Rhino,
Yes.
Councilmember Silvera,
Yes?
Vice Mayor Condit,
Nay.
and Mayor Lopez.
No.
2-2, motion fails.
I'll nominate Mr. White.
Can we take a roll call, please?
Are you seconding that, Mayor?
I'll second that.
Councilmember Rhino,
No.
Councilmember Silvera,
No?
Vice Mayor Condit,
Aye.
and Mayor Lopez.
No.
2-2, motion fails.
Actually, Diane, I think it was a 3-1 vote.
That's right, I apologize. 3-1.
Thank you. I motion to nominate Ms. Vasquez to District 1.
I'll second.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Rhino,
No.
Councilmember Silvera,
No?
Vice Mayor Condit,
Aye.
and Mayor Lopez.
Aye.
2-2, motion fails.
Sounds like we're going to have some fun tonight, everyone. Any
City
recommendations?
Attorney, I have a question for you. How many days is left on that 60-day requirement?
Let's see, with the February being a short month, I believe does it turn out to be the 5th?
It's 60 days from the date of resignation.
I think we counted from the 4th, actually, but I think that made it the 5th.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the beginning of March.
Okay.
Well, maybe the question is for Mr. Westbrook or Tom. What's the next part of this process, considering where we're at right now?
Well, you could continue to discuss and make further motions tonight. You could revisit one of the nominations previously made, or you could continue this item, or it would just kind of naturally continue, and you'd have another meeting or not, knowing that clock is ticking on the potential special election.
Yeah, special election is definitely a concern. If I'm not mistaken, we could be looking at $30,000 to $40,000 to put on a special election.
I think, sorry, Mr. Silvera.
Well, I think I'm going to once again move to approve Lori Smith to fill the District 1 council vacancy.
And I will second.
Are we allowed to do that again?
Yeah, we're not under Robert's rules.
Oh, okay. Okay. And go ahead, let's take the roll call.
Councilmember Rhino,
Yes.
Councilmember Silvera,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Condit,
Nay.
Mayor Lopez.
No.
That's 2-2, motion fails.
I think I agree with Mr. Silvera that I don't think anybody on the dais wants to spend that money for a special election. I think it would be a waste of money and time. I believe that we can come to an agreement. We just probably need a little bit more time to discuss, whether it's today, now, or maybe we can possibly table this till the next meeting on 8th. But if, is there, obviously this is open. Is there any possible way for us to discuss this matter between ourselves? Take it like a 5-minute recess or something like that. Is that even?
No, it all needs to be an open process.
It has to be all open. I just want to make sure that that's on the table.
Well, we could wait until February 8th, but I I won't change my mind because I'm looking at who I believe is the most qualified, who will hit the ground running, which we do need. And I'm still going to go with Ms. Smith.
I concur, Councilmember Rhino. It's clearly Lori Smith is the most qualified and would be ready to serve immediately.
I don't think we know who the most qualified person is because the voters haven't decided in District 1.
We do have a unique opportunity to make a decision today, and I understand it's a very difficult decision, and I'm sure that no one here wants to budge. So
I just want to make it clear there's no other candidate up here council members Rhino and Silvera would support. Actually, I'll go ahead and make a motion for Mr. Bahia since we haven't made a motion for him.
I'll second that.
Councilmember Rhino?
No.
Councilmember Silvera?
No.
Vice Mayor Condit?
Yes.
And Mayor Lopez?
Yes.
That's 2-2, motion fails.
But at the end of the day, I think that it's important that we do come to a decision. Is there any reasons why the other three candidates are not, in your guys' opinion, qualified? I'm just curious to know.
It's not a question you can ask. I'm sorry, Mayor. We're talking about who is qualified, and it's my opinion that Lori Smith is clearly the most qualified. We're not here to ask who isn't qualified.
Response, most definitely. I feel that it's important that we give everybody an opportunity to jump in this thing, not just because somebody has experience. And obviously, Ms. Smith, you know from our short conversation that at the end of the day, I want everybody to do the best that they can. So this is obviously nothing personal. I'm open to Mr. Bahia. I'm open to White. I'm open to anybody on this council. But we have to make sure that we focus on some other things than just experience. And that's just because of how I got here today. It's not always about experience. It's about the will. And I believe that we can make a decision today, even if we're here for a while. But that's why I asked the question. I just want to open it up for discussion.
And I can appreciate where you're coming from, Mayor, that
Thank you.
You basically came from out of blue to me to beat out an experienced council member. But with that said, I've been on both sides of this. I've been a staff employee for almost 30 years. And I've been up on the council now for a while, and I understand where you're coming from, but I also feel strongly that we have a council mostly, and that I think we can gain a lot from the experience that Ms. Smith can bring. I'm not against shutting somebody down because they've been in government for years. That's not where I'm at, and I certainly hope that isn't where you're coming from, because
not at all.
You were kind of the underdog that was elected, and I certainly hope that hasn't made you think or changed the way you think, and that you're going to vote against someone because they do have government work experience.
Oh yeah, thank you for those comments. From your experience working with me, you know that yes, I am getting to understand local politics, but you can see the passion that I have, and I appreciate you seeing that. And that's obviously, it shouldn't really be about us. At the end of the day, I think it's about the candidates. So if we can come to a decision today, because it seems like we've been doing this for way too long, there's a lot of business at hand that I feel that we could take care of, and I do not want to wait until August, go into a special election. And the citizens of Ceres don't need to be sitting here waiting for. I think we have so many things to accomplish, and I know that you guys want the same thing I do, whether or not we agree on the same candidate. But I believe that we can, I'll say it once again, make a decision today. I know you guys are very, very hard on Miss Smith. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's just my best analogy on the situation.
Well, as I said in my comments, one person's going to end up being the city councilman for that district. The others obviously have interest in being involved with the city, and there's a bunch of other opportunities for that. It's not that there's anything disparaging about the other three candidates. It's just so clear to me that Ms. Smith is widely more capable of walking into the city council and being qualified to make decisions immediately, with all of the experience she has and in not just city government in Modesto and where she's been, but right here in Ceres for this long. So there's little to no chance that I'll change my opinion. I'm solid on she's easily the most qualified.
Thank you, Mr. Silvera.
And I would agree with everything he said, and I'm solid, and that Ms. Smith is the right person.
Thank you, Ms. Reno.
City Attorney, I have another question for you.
Yes, sir.
What would be the process if, are we allowed to reopen applications to the public in the short time frame that we have?
You're allowed that. Like, practically speaking, I can't say how that would work, but you're allowed to do, majority of you can agree to do anything.
Okay. Thank
That
you.
would almost insinuate that you don't feel like we have a qualified candidate in the room, which I believe they're all qualified.
But I think we've exhausted all options. We voted on each candidate, one of them twice. I think it's pretty clear that we're not going to come to a decision with these four candidates. I think the wise thing to do would be open it back up to the public.
Totally disagree.
Before we make that decision,
since we have more time,
and obviously we do have time, but before we make that decision, if worst case scenario tonight, if we have to table this until the 8th, because I don't want to sit here all day and just go back and forth. With all due respect to everybody.
Well, Mayor, what would
Yes,
happen between now and the 8th? I mean,
Who's to say?
I know, so why would we table it?
So are we not going to find somebody today, clearly? That's all I'm asking. So we're obviously going to be a split 2-2 no matter what. So either somebody budgets today and we pick a candidate so that we can move on with the city business. That's all I really want to do. I'm open to any other suggestions, as you know.
Do you want Fudge?
I feel that I want to give other candidates an opportunity, not just Ms. Smith. So I'm open to any of the other candidates at the end of the day.
So the answer would be no, you don't Fudge.
Well, that's why I want to sit here and have more conversations about this. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't want to budge, if you don't want to budge, I want to budge, where are we going to wind up being?
I think the mayor and myself have a wider variety of options to budge on. You and Councilman Silvera have one option to budge on.
Because I'm not speaking for him, I'm going to speak for myself, that I still believe she is the right choice. So I can't budge from that. I mean, I have to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day, and I'm not going to change my vote when I truly believe she is the best person for this city. And I think the mayor hasn't worked with her, but I know Councilmember Silvera has, and so have you, Vice Mayor. And you know her qualities, and you know that she, you know in your heart that she would be the best person. You know that. You worked with her for how many years?
Five.
Okay.
Enjoyed every minute of it. Learned a lot from Commissioner Smith. Taught me a lot on the planning commission. However, I think the three other candidates are better qualified and better suited to be on this council.
because they don't have any governmental experience?
I see a passion and a desire to help the community from the other applicants. I don't know if Commissioner Smith's time commitment with her job at the city would be able to keep up with everything that we need from a council person at our city.
Well, I don't know how you could. It sounds like you're making an assumption based on the fact that she's a director, but you don't know the other three candidates, how much time their jobs take and their families. So I don't think that's an appropriate measure, that you think you're not sure if she would have enough time to commit to the city.
Well, to be fair, yourself and Councilman Silvera questioned my availability earlier last year. So I think availability is an issue, and if it's an issue for me and not for Commissioner Smith, who's applying to be a council person, that's your prerogative, Councilwoman.
I don't think that's also the other candidates. If we're talking about availability, we don't really know.
We got two business owners, which I would assume would be a flexible schedule, and Mr. White at Memorial in the healthcare profession. I think they're very understanding. So,
and typically department heads have pretty much leniency to availability to attend their functions.
So we've been at it for a while here. Any other comments?
So, city attorney, if we sit here all night and we can't come to an agreement, then what happens?
Well, you're in a stalemate, and if you remain in the stalemate until what we believe the correct date is March 5th, then this matter will go to a special election.
That costs $7,000.
Around $40,000, I believe.
How much?
Around $40,000.
$40,000. Thank you.
Yeah, we got a revised estimate from the registrar of voters. There's around 6,000 registered voters in District 1. On the low side of the range, it's $5.50 per registered voter. On the high side, it was $7.50 per registered voter. That slot would fall anywhere between 33,000 to 45,000 for a special election in District 1.
We could be here for a while, or we can possibly table this, but I know no one here on the dais wants that. I know that I'm flexible, giving the other candidates an opportunity. 1, 2, 3 more candidates. Are you guys flexible at all? Yeah.
No, it's clear to me who the most qualified candidate is.
Thank you. I could sit here and waste everybody's time. I'm going to go. That's a great tone. I love that. Or we can postpone this until the 8th. That's going to be my motion. The motion to postpone this until our 8th meeting. No second. I guess we'll be here all day. I got time.
I'm just,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just curious why you think postponing it till the 8th is, are you going?
I just want to give everybody an opportunity, that's all.
Opportunity to what?
An opportunity to possibly reconsider.
Okay.
So, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I don't want to waste spending money off, going into a campaign. It's going to be a tough one. We won't be here, and things won't be resolved until August, unless we can come to our own senses and make decisions before then, which I hope that we could. There's many things that we do agree on, and some things that we don't. I feel that people are looking at us and they're saying this council was split on too much. And I feel that it's necessary that we try to make things right. That's the reason why I want to give everybody a week's time to think about your decision. So that's my proposal. Can we go to a 5-minute recess?
Public hearing.
Well, we
can't recess.
we just talked to you.
We're not going to talk. I just want a 5-minute recess. Yeah, we can do that, please.
I would second that.
Thank you. Are the mics off?
Everybody agree?
All the mics are off. There were some hands raised. They went down. There was other ones. Yeah, there was other. Oh. Yeah. will unmute the mics.
Okay, we are back. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. I don't think anything has changed since the last 5 minutes, but once again, I will make another motion to table this until February 8th. Can I get a roll call, please? Actually, I need a second, but I don't think it's going to happen either. Fun times. Any suggestions, Tom? I mean, we could be here all night.
Council members, do either of you have a second choice? Or there's only one choice for you?
My choice is the most qualified. That's pretty clear.
As well as mine.
Only one choice out of 4.
There's only one position available.
But no compromise. I want to make sure that no compromise choice from either of you.
I have to go with who I believe is qualified. I can't.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, like I said, we can wait here and we can possibly wait out until what did you say, March 2nd? I'm sorry?
Drop the date again for you.
To be clear. If the dais can't come up with an agreement at the end of the day, I think the voters will speak. And everybody sitting in those chairs will have an opportunity to tell the voters why you should be in that position, if that's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, the voters speak and we serve the community. Go ahead.
Mayor and Council, just want to confirm that is March 5th.
It's March 5th. Okay. So there's no other options we can exercise? If we don't come to an agreement tonight.
You either agree or it goes to special election, and whatever you do in between is the will of the council.
Right, it is the will of the council. So is everybody willing to stay here all night until we just, we're just going to waste everybody's time?
I don't consider it a waste of time trying to decide who we believe is the best qualified for District 1.
Well, I mean, it is obvious that only you and Severo want to choose one candidate, and I'm open to all the other 3. So like I said, I'm not necessarily saying that you're wasting time. I just don't waste the people's time.
Well, we do have over a month before March 5th, and we could open it up tomorrow on the 3rd and have a special meeting on the 5th, if this is what we want to do. Or we could stay here all night. I'm fine with either option.
Thank you.
But do we have to make the candidates stay here all night, City Attorney?
No.
No.
Doesn't look like the candidates are budging either. I do really appreciate everybody's patience. And once somebody is chosen, then you'll understand how it feels to be on this side. Can we play some music? Yeah, we could be here all night, ladies and gentlemen. We can talk until we're blue in the face, but I'll reiterate one more time. I know none of us want to waste any of the city's money by going to a special election, but we have to figure this out today. And it seems like it's up to Miss Rhino and Mr. Silvera whether they were willing to open up to any of these other three. Not saying that it's anything personal or anything like that. I'm just trying to throw
Inappropriate for you to say, Mayor.
I don't think it's inappropriate. I just want for you guys to understand that my position. I'm open to the other three as well. And as you well know, I've always treated everybody with respect, and I understand it, and I do respect everybody's opinion here on the side.
And Mayor, it sounds to me like you're against Ms. Smith because of her governmental experience.
No, that's what you said. But
That's what it sounds like to me, because
sound
you're
like that,
open
Ms.
to
Rhino.
the other three,
Rhino.
but you're not open to her.
Ms. Rhino, with respect, I've never called you out on anything that you've said, and don't put words in my mouth, with all due respect.
I am saying that's what it appears to me.
Okay. And you're entitled to that opinion, of course. I want to give the other three candidates a shot.
I'll second the motion to move it to the 8th.
Thank you. Can we take a roll call, please?
Councilmember Rhino,
Yes.
Councilmember Silvera,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Condit,
Nay.
and Mayor Lopez.
Yes.
Passes 4-1.
Thank you. And with that being said, we adjourn today's meeting, and thank you for all the candidates for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you.